Welcome to our notes on trigonometry. All right, we've been working with right triangles. Now we're going to talk specifically about trigonometry, which is the study of right triangles. So this first lesson is an introduction. We're going to be doing most of it on a calculator. Okay, so it's going to be on a calculator. Make sure you're in degree mode on a calculator. All right, and if you're not sure about that, we can cover that in class. Now, trig functions. First thing you need to know is you need to know what are the trig functions. There are three of them. All right, the first is the sine. All right, again, it's pronounced sine. Now, in a calculator, you'll see it as just sin, but some people call it sin, but no, it stands for sine. All right, then we have the cosine. All right, which again, on the calculator, you'll see as cos, and then we have the tangent. And on the calculator, you'll see that as tan, or in the book, and they abbreviate it as tan. So now, how do we solve for these variables? You know, we don't really know what it is yet. We'll get into that. But first thing I want to show you is how do you solve for problems involving tangent, sine, cosine, and tangent. Well, here we go. Here's our first example. And what I like you guys to remember, right, is we spent all that time solving proportions. That's all this really is. Tan 47 equals x over 17. The tangent of 47. I really like thinking of it as just tangent of 47 over 1. Then how do you solve any proportion? We just cross multiply. All right, 1 times x, that is just x. And then we take tangent of 47 times 17. So in your calculator, you do tangent of 47, all right, and then you times that by 17. Now in your calculator, it'll kind of look like this, tan 47, that'll be times 17. And when you do that, and you just plug it in just like that, you should get your answer of x equals 18.23. All right, so again, there it is, tangent 47 times 17. Just plug in your calculator just like that, you'll get the answer. All right, now next one. All right, now the variable's on the bottom. Doesn't really matter. All right, again, we still put the sine 15 over 1. All right, we're going to have one additional step. All right, so this time when we cross multiply here, we're going to get sine of 15 times x. Sine of 15 times x. All right, and that equals 25 times 1, which is just 25. Now, if I didn't mention it before, tangent of 47 was a value. Sine of 15, this is a value right here. The sine of 15 is a value. So what we can literally do is, hey, just like solving any equation, I want to get x by itself. I can divide by sine 15. That'll cancel it out. And then in my calculator, I just do 25 divided by sine 15. So notice if the variable's on the bottom, I end up just taking this number over here and dividing it by our sine of 15. All right, but again, we're just cross multiplying. Again, that's just a little pattern some people notice. When you plug it in your calculator, just write this right here, 25 divided by sine of 15, you'll get x equals 96.6. All right, as an answer. We'll do one more. Let's do one with the cosine. Again, doesn't matter which trig function, we solve it the same way. It's 1 times y is just y equals cosine of 35. That's how you're going to see it on your calculator. You're going to times that by 31. And when you do that, you'll get a final answer of approximately 25.4. Now, when you're trying these problems, you're not getting these values. It means you're in the wrong mode. I'll show you guys how to change that. So that's how you solve trig function, all right? Solve them for the variables. Now, sometimes they're going to find the angle, all right? So to find an angle, use the inverse button. Now, you've probably seen this on your calculator, didn't really know what it's for, but it's for to find the measure of angles in trig problems. So it's the one that has the little -1, like looks like an exponent. So sine of the -1, all right, that's sine inverse. All right, that's what that means. Or for cosine, you'll see it as cos, all right, to that little looks like a -1 exponent, but it means inverse. And then this one, the tangent, obviously tan inverse. So when we solve these problems, really straightforward. Obviously, you got to have a calculator, but all you're going to do is in your calculator, you're going to hit that sine inverse button, and then you're just going to do 10 divided by 17 and hit enter. When you do that, it'll give you an answer. So in this case, that measure of angle A, all right, equals 36.03 degrees. Remember, we're finding the measurement angle, so it's going to be in degrees. Now that you know what, they're pretty straightforward. This one, cos inverse button. 25 divided by 35. Hit enter. You're going to get B equals 44.4 degrees. All right, I'm just kind of rounding these. And then finally tangent You guys get the pattern. Tan to the tan inverse looks like that -1 exponent. Divide 7 by 5. Hit enter, and you're going to find that x equals 54.46 degrees. Again, he rounds one spot, one place, two places. Doesn't really matter to me. Just make sure to show that work. So there you have it. That is your lesson on the trig functions and how to use your calculator to solve for variables and angles.